News now, as Nashville is preparing for a big announcement today with Major League Soccer officials. Some are worried that one of the expansion teams has already been picked. Most likely it is going to be Nashville, but more concerns now out of Cincinnati is that means there's only one more spot before they potentially make that pick. That's the fairgrounds where they intend to build the Nashville facility. Of course, we've been talking about building a facility here in Oakley for quite some time. Joining us now to give us a little more insight on all of what we're dealing with from the standpoint of MLS and this expansion is Dr. Chris Henderson. He's a visiting assistant professor at Miami University. Sports management is your jam. I want to start with the general overall popularity of this sport. Cincinnati's biggest claim to the bid has been their crowd sizes. People like me, journalists for 25 years, have been saying soccer has been this growing sport. You have written about this sport. Is the crowd size and what we have to offer to the MLS the biggest reason that finally this sport has traction and has arrived?
Absolutely. I think the popularity has only grown over the past few decades, and you've seen kind of here over the past few years just how popular the sport here is in the tri-state area. And I think it's given a lot of fuel to just how powerful this bid is for FC Cincinnati.
Does it matter if we get an MLS team? I mean, they have tremendous crowds. It's family friendly with the cost at this standpoint. The MLS isn't quite what European soccer is. I know it's professional soccer that they have now from that standpoint, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's as good as soccer as MLS. Do the crowds really care at the end of the day?
I think they do care. I think, at some point the novelty effect might wear off if FC Cincinnati doesn't go to Major League Soccer. And I think also if the FC Cincinnati does, get that expansion bid to Major League Soccer, the potential is limitless. You've seen what can happen, in a second division team, the FC Cincinnati, and the league they currently play in, the United Soccer Leagues. If they get to the Major League Soccer, the growth could even be further than that.
I want to talk a little bit about, it's interesting to me about, from your sports management background on this, with the potential building in Oakley. And it's interesting, I covered MLS in Denver. When they built their facility with the Colorado Rapids, they built it with a tremendous amount of soccer fields around it so they can get clinics for kids, other things around it to that facility. It's another revenue source, almost like if you put it at VOA here in Butler County. What does MLS coming to Cincinnati mean for the growth of the sport here, from soccer kids to playing on Saturdays to the high school ranks?
I think it just gives more energy to the overall growth. I mean, we've seen, like you said, how much the sport has grown and how much enthusiasm FC Cincinnati already has. But if you put that into a Major League Soccer level and you add, further energy to that, it just spurs a lot more energy, a lot more kids playing, both boys and girls. I think it just really adds more to the soccer landscape in Cincinnati.
All right, Dr. Cincy, we appreciate your time today. Thanks for your insight on that, as we all are waiting now to see if Cincinnati is one of those teams that will eventually get that MLS bid. So over to Tamika.